What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to part 23 of our Pokemon Z walkthrough. In the previous episode, we were on the hunt for King Aster after he stole an ancient skull of one of the late queens. We explored a brand new route chasing after him, and eventually we found him and battled him. We also encountered a very frail and weak Elka, and it turns out both of them are working together to try and create the ultimate weapon. We then arrived in a brand new town, and it's the town where we currently are. So we're just exploring the town in today's episode and trying to find out what the next quest is. The town is really beautiful, and there's a whole bunch of rare gemstones and crystals littered around the town, so it does look really beautiful. At the moment, we're just chatting to all the local residents in the houses, and we're getting some amazing items, to be fair. And apparently Annister Town is the home of artisans and jewelry makers and things like that. That's why there are so many gems and crystals about. It makes sense that they use all of those to make jewelries and all kinds of beautiful items. And apparently all 12 of the Regent badges were also made here. So that's pretty interesting. Whilst exploring, we have just bumped into Professor Olafia, who's told us all this information about the artisans and the gemstones and the Regent badges. And apparently the Regent leader is the one who made the 12 Regent badges. He is some kind of special artisan jewelry maker. So I'm hoping we can find him and take him on in today's episode. We enter one of the main buildings, and here you can actually buy any of the evolution stones that you might need and any of the gemstones. So it is a large milestone in the game. If you've been waiting to evolve any of your Pokemon with evolution stones, you can just come and buy them here. And you can also buy a whole bunch of items to mega evolve your Pokemon. So it is definitely going to make things a lot easier from this point on. Now ourselves and the professor are on our way to chat to the Regent leader, whose name is Rupico, and he's chatting to one of Myra's commanders, Sindara, the ice trainer. So we're just trying to listen what they're doing and trying to get some information from both of them. It looks like they might be working together, but luckily they don't hear us or see us spying on them. We go and chat to the gym leader, and I'm hoping we can take him on for a battle. I do want to try get the next Regent badge. I've got no idea what kind of Pokemon he has, but it looks like he's got a massive stone type Pokemon over there, so he might be the stone type specialist, which sounds pretty interesting. Before Rupico agrees to take us on for a battle, he said he wants us to go and explore the ancient forge, which is apparently a hidden area under the lake below the city. So I don't know if there's some kind of item that we need to receive for him, or just to go and explore and see what all we can find. So I'm guessing that's what we've got to do. We've got to try and go to the lake and dive down and try and find this ancient forge room. So we've just arrived at the lake bottom, and you can find some interesting water type Pokemon under here. One of the Pokemon that catches my eye is definitely Golisopod. So I'm definitely going to try and catch one of those and add it to our team. There are also other interesting Pokemon like Clawitzer. And here below under the lake, you can pick up some really cool items. We pick up a whole bunch of relics, so those are normally quite valuable. And we've also picked up a TM or two. So I definitely recommend just exploring about and searching all the areas below. We've just picked up a relic gold and found a cave entrance. So yes, it looks like we have found the entrance to the ancient flooded forge. This is the area that the Regent leader told us to explore. But one of the entrances is blocked, but then Professor Olafia catches up to us and she helps destroy the blockage. So now we can actually explore it properly. So you actually need to go and chat to the Regent leader before starting this mission. Otherwise that area will still be blocked. But now in this area there is quite a lot to unpack. It's definitely like a maze area, and on top of that there's also teleportation pads and things. So we're going to try and pick up all the items in the area. It is going to take us quite a while because, like I said, it is a maze. So we're going to try pick up all the items, explore all of the rooms, and then hopefully find out a bit more information. And if we can find some rare item to take back to the Regent leader, that'll be great, because then we'll be able to battle him and potentially get the next Regent badge. Whilst exploring this maze-like area, we are also battling a couple trainers. There are a whole bunch of druids down here, so we are getting some extra experience. And we just found another cave entrance there, so we're going to see if we can go in and investigate and see what's inside. We enter the room and we've come to another main area, and here you can find two Pokemon, one that will heal your team and one that will act like a PC. And there's also a big door. It looks like a Pokemon blocking the door. I don't know what Pokemon that is though, but I'm guessing we've got to try and get it moved out the way so we can enter that area. But this again is like a whole mazy area, and this is what I was talking about with the teleportation pads. So it just gets more and more tricky the further we go. And there are a whole bunch of cave entrances along this room as well. So we've just entered the first room and battled a druid, but there's not much else happening in that room. But as you can see, there are more doors that we've got to try and reach. I believe there are 3 cave doors to the north, so this is the second cave. We've just picked up a bone powder and we have found another secret door, but unfortunately we can't open it at the moment. I don't know if we've ran out of the items that we need to open those doors or why we can't actually enter them, but we'll have to come back and do that at a later stage. And I believe there's also a door on the west and eastern side. So we've explored all 3 of the northern caves. Now we just need to pick up any items that we have missed, and then we'll try and explore the rooms to the far east and far west. We've just picked up a mega stone as well, so there are some valuable items here. But it is really tricky trying to work your way through this area because it is a maze and there's so many parts of it that are blocked. And then on top of that, you've also got those arrows that push you in specific directions. So it's quite tricky to try and work out where you have to go to pick up all the items. But now finally we have reached the room on the far western side. We've decided to pick up some of the items and a TM, and there's also like a druid statue here again. And when we interact with it, we go back into time. It looks like it is a past memory of the area, and you can see a whole bunch of the druids living down here, but there were a lot more of them back then. And they actually summoned the legendary Pokemon. So there we can see Xerneas, Zygarde, and Warveltel, as well as that brand new Pokemon, Auretosk. And the Aura Pokemon just transformed to a person. So I had no idea that these druid people could actually transform into Pokemon as well. We got our first look at Auretosk, and also the first time that we've seen that it can transform back into a person. I've never seen that before. That's pretty crazy, but at least we are getting a whole bunch more information. So we've finished exploring the western room, and one of the lights has lit up in the main entrance by that door-looking Pokemon. So I'm guessing now we've got to go all the way to the far eastern room, and we'll probably have another vision memory, and then the second light should come on and we'll be able to go through that main door. So let's see if that is the case. We first have to try and reach this room on the far east. And I can't believe that legendary Pokemon is a person. But I suppose that's what druids are. A lot of druids can transform into animals and back into people and things like that. So it makes a lot of sense. We try and pick up a few other items that we've missed, and now we have finally reached the eastern room. So we find another druid statue here that we're going to interact with. And again, it sends us back into a memory. And here you can actually see the beginnings of the ultimate weapon. And here the Auretosk Pokemon is transformed into a person. and we are finding out more about the druids and what all their role is in making the ultimate weapon. So it's really interesting. I do recommend that you read all of the storyline. That way you'll know exactly what's happening. I didn't want to read all of the text because it would take us forever, and I don't want to make the video any longer than it needs to be. So after that, we return back to the main area, and yes, the second light comes on, and now it looks like that door Pokemon has been awoken. So we'll see if we can go and enter there. I'm not sure if we have to battle it or not, but we'll see what's in store for us. Luckily, there is a Pokemon right there to heal up our team. So we're going to heal up our team first and then see if we can go through the door. Professor Olafia also catches up to us, and she's going to help us battle this Guardian. Okay, so this Guardian has actually got a team of Pokemon. I thought it was a Pokemon itself, but it's just an ancient Guardian, and he's got his own Pokemon to battle with. So at the moment, we have a little tag team battle. We are battling Solrock and Lunatone, which are kind of like ancient stone-type Pokemon. The Guardian also has a Xatu and a Claydol, so it looks like he's only got 4 Pokemon, so this battle should be fairly easy. And yes, we defeat the Guardian, and now we are allowed to enter. So Professor Olafia and ourselves enter the brand new room. Hopefully we can find out what's happening here. And on the wall in the previous room, there was a massive circle which looked like it had all of the Regent badges, but there were 2 missing. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know, we might have to come back down here once we have all 12 of the Regent badges. But now we have entered that same area that we saw in one of our memory flashbacks. And again, we go back into a memory flashback and we see Aura, the person, actually kill one of the druid leaders. So I can't believe that actually happened, but at least we are finding out more about the history of the region. We now approach the person and he transforms back into the legendary Pokemon Auretosk, and it looks like we're actually going to face it in our memory. So this is really cool. Auretosk is at level 80. Luckily, it's just the one Pokemon, so we should be able to defeat it with our teams, and the professor is also helping us. But it's so cool to see Auretosk up close and personal. We defeated Auretosk, and now it's transformed back into a person. And as you can see, this Aura guy has got the ultimate weapon, so I think he tried to steal it from all of the druids. And now before he could escape, all the other legendary Pokemon came to stop him. And then we had a massive flash and he disappeared. So I'm not sure what actually happened there, but I think that Aura person is up to no good. After that, we return back to the area outside of the lake back in Annister Town. And now we're going to go and find the Regent leader and tell him exactly what we found. We tell him that we explored the ancient flooded forge and everything that we found in there, and he's pretty shocked that we actually found it and all the information that we discovered. So after that, he has agreed to take us on for a battle. He says when we are ready, we just go through the little teleportation pad and he'll be waiting there for us. So we don't waste any time, we go right to it, and now we're going to take on Rupico, the badge forger. So it looks like he is a stone-type gym leader, and the first Pokemon he sends out is Gigalith. We knock it out fairly easily with our Marilia. He now sends out an Omastar, which is a rock and water type, so we quickly swap in our Porygon Z. But Porygon Z gets one-shotted. We then send out Delphox, which also gets one-shotted. And then our Rotom gets one-shotted as well. So sure, 3 of our Pokemon have been knocked out by Omastar. I think Omastar's speed is really high and its attack is quite strong. So you've got to try and attack it first or survive and put it to sleep or something. But finally we knocked out Omastar, and now he has sent out an Arcanine, which is a fire and rock type. It is the alternate regional form. Our Darkrai is trying to put it to sleep and knock it out. We are trying to revive some of our knocked out Pokemon whilst Arcanine is asleep, but we've still got Marilia alive as well. We finally knock out Arcanine, and now the opponent sends out a Diancie, which has Mega Evolved. So we send out Marilia after Darkrai gets knocked out. And now he sends out a Constellar, which looks like a brand new Fakemon. It looks like an evolution or a fusion of Solrock and Lunatone. But luckily our Marilier finishes it off, so that was a really close battle. We then get the next Regent badge, so that was a really fun battle. I can't believe how strong Omastar was. But now we're going to make our way out of the building and we'll continue the adventure in the next one. Thanks for watching.